Good afternoon, and what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday the 5th of September. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to unbox. Okay, and what I have got in here come out is a copy of Travel by Bullet. This is the third part in the Dispatcher trilogy by John Scalzi. So, this is essentially a set of near-future novellas that are set in an America or a world where if you are murdered, you don't die. So, when you die, you wake up sort of like naked in the place where you feel safest. You have individuals who are trained and recognized as dispatchers who will actually essentially dispatch or kill people who are about to die, and want to come back. So there are instances in the novels essentially of someone being on the operating theatre, goes into basically cardiac failure, is about to die, and the person, basically this dispatcher on duty, will come in, dispatch them. And yes, essentially it's a euphemism because that's the way culture and language works. Dispatches them and returns them home, and then they can come back and basically go through the process of the operation again, avoiding the failures of the first. And there are other instances too, like prize fights, where you're not going to survive the injuries, but if you're dispatched, you can come back. So it makes an interesting world, an interesting sort of conceit, and then from that develop stories. So from the Hugo winning author John Scalzi comes The Dispatcher, Travel by Bullet, which cracks in at over 40,000 words, the longest novella yet in the series. The war has changed. Now, when someone is murdered, they almost always come back to life. And there are professionals called dispatchers who kill in order to save lives, to give those near the end a second chance. Tony Valdez is a dispatcher, and he's never been busier. But from as much as the world has changed, some things have stayed the same. Greed, corruption, and avarice are still in full swing. When Tony is called to a Chicago emergency room by an old friend and fellow dispatcher, he is suddenly and unwillingly thrown into a whirlwind of schemes and plots involving billions of dollars, with vast caches of wealth ranging from real estate to cryptocurrency up for grabs. All Tony wants to do is keep his friends safe, but it's hard to do when friends keep secrets, enemies offer seductive deals, and nothing is ever what it seems. The world has changed, but the stakes are still life and death. So this is published by Subterranean Press, as the other books in the series. And these are not mass market books. They are limited editions. As you can see, this is a special assigned edition, limited to 1,500 copies. So there's the signature. And I wasn't setting out to buy a limited edition book. I wanted a copy of the book, and that's what is available. These are, essentially, I'm reading the second book in the series. I read the first one when it came out, then read it again, and then started reading the second book when I now got hold of it. And I've been waiting for the third to come out for quite a while, certainly in print rather than Kindle or EPUB formats. And so I jumped on a chance to get hold of a copy to actually read properly when I have the chance. Now, essentially, these are interesting little stories to read. I think that's about it. They're engaging. Scalzi is fairly light. Author is not too too heavy or detailed an author, as it were, but he develops worlds quite in interesting ways and explores them. and helps to bring them alive, bring them to life. And I think that's where they're kind of enjoyable as much as the plot. Essentially, the Old Man's War series really is what he's best known for, and he does a lot of world building and to create an interesting science fiction series. And he's done the same here with a series essentially that's sort of like using the conceit of nobody dying when it's when they commit murder, to explore what happens in the seamier side of society. So crime, big business, and so on, when people are desperate enough to kill but actually can't. And that's an interesting idea to explore in these books. So yeah, that's The Dispatcher, Travel by Bullet, by John Scalzi. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook way, we'll see me out here with a package containing a book, in this case a novella, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.